Hello, this is Neil Spencer Rafada, and this is my solution for the second lab of CSE 130 Algorithm Design, Spring of 2021. So this program is mainly about authentication, where it asks the user for its password and username, and it will read through a list to check if the user's inputs are in the list, and it will tell if the user is authenticated to use the system or not. But first, this program works with the program reads a JSON file, and saves it into a string. The JSON file contains uh, the usernames and passwords saved into the system. And after reading it and saving it into a string, the program will convert the string into a JSON object using the loads function. And after converting it into a JSON object, it will save both the usernames and the passwords into two different and separate lists. And after that, it will prompt the user to input its username and password. After getting the inputs of the user with its username and password, it's gonna go through the list and check if the user's input is equal, if it's in the list. Like in here, it goes through the username list and check if the user's input is in there. And if it's in there, it will save the index for that. It will save its index. Same with the password. After saving its user index and password, it will compare it. But before we move on, I'd like to say that the index is initialized to user and pass. So if and the password's index is pass too. So if it's not in the list, it's basically user and pass by default, which means it's not in the list. And then after comparing, so for the program to say you are authenticated, the user's name and the password's index should be the same. It means that they're both the same index in the JSON file. And if not, it will always say if not, it will always say you are not authorized to use the system. Like if it's not in the list, or the user input a username with a different key index with its password. And lastly, if the program was not able to locate the JSON file, it will print a friendly note such as unable to open JSON file. So we'll run some test cases right now from the assignment. So the first test case, we're gonna input an incorrect username. So we are not authorized to use the system because we have the wrong username. So the next one, we're gonna input a wrong password, Black Knight and but a scratch. Still, we are not authorized to use the system. Okay, the third test case, we're gonna use uh, both both the username and the password are incorrect. But a scratch. How did I spell that? Nope. We are still not authorized to use the system. Okay, so then the next test case wherein we input both usernames and passwords in the list, but their key index are different. So we use King Arthur and bring out your dead. And we are not authorized since they both have different indexes. I don't know. So the next one, we're gonna prove the test case for the valid ones. So we're gonna use Black Knight as our username, and the password will be none shall pass. And we are authenticated, as you see. We're gonna run more valid test cases with King Arthur, and then run away. Okay, got it. The next one is French soldier, and I fart in your general direction. Oh wait, I fart. Oh, general direction. There you go. So I'm gonna run one more test case just to make sure. We're gonna use Knight of Knee, since this one has the most like the longest one, the second longest string. So the password is you must cut down the mightiest tree in the forest. Dot 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 with dot 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 a herring. Wait, did I spell something wrong? Okay, I put a space just as you see. Uh, I wrote the username and password right, but the password is a bit of one space. So we're gonna do run the code again. Okay, Knight of Knee, you must cut down the mightiest tree in the forest. Dot 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 with dot 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 a herring. This is supposed to work, and it did. Alright, that's my solution for the second lab of CSE 130. And that is all. Thank you.